Hey guys, this here is Chris Rager, voice of Mr. Satan, Dragon Ball Z, Mr. Torg in Borderlands. What was it again? You're listening to the Chronicles of the Lost Realm. And no, I am not drunk. I just didn't remember what it was.
In a world ravaged by monsters, controlled by tyrants, and plunged into darkness, many brave heroes will emerge from the unlikeliest of sources. But will they be in time to protect this realm, the Lost Realm? Follow me, and I shall tell you their tales. Welcome back, brave adventurers, to Chronicles of the Lost Realm. The Stumble crew find their way feebly through the impenetrable darkness of the Forbidden Forests, but yet find a light in the dark in the form of an unknown sage, who informs them of the way to get to the Litch King. Once they reach the ruins of his castle, things start going wrong. Go.
Welcome to the Chronicles of the Lost Realm. Prepare yourself for story time with your drunkle Anvil. When we last left the adventurers, they had just narrowly missed getting eaten by a picnic lunch, for lack of a better phrasing. And now they are traveling down the forest. Let's check in on them.
La 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 la.
You know, I really
la,
want
So we
la,
pretty much established that my familiar, regardless of form, is unable to help us out with any distant perception, correct?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Have we caught up to Melwood?
As we're continuing along the path, Akla is kind of berating Farun for the whole scenario, going down and being like, did nobody ever teach you not to, eat food in the middle of a forest?
Hey, jackass. Ranger, remember? And I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't want anything on that table. Although I do have a hankering for apple pie now.
I've had my share of pie, if you know what I mean.
So, as you're walking along, or riding, because, as I recall, only one of you is walking now. You notice this similar glow off to the right this time in the forest up ahead. And as you approach, you see another table. This time, there's no suckling pig, and instead of pies, there's a large number of cakes and several what looks to be turkeys. Gorgeously roasted, scattered throughout the table, and all the booze you could possibly want.
Oh, fuck you.
I cast Dispel Magic.
You cast Dispel Magic. Go ahead and roll the D20.
Give me a sec here.
So, did they notice the hook
Again?
prints that go right past it?
What is going on? Why is there so many
Melwood is-
random picnic tables?
I'm gonna guess a possibility here. Maybe this is a welcome thing. Maybe it's not a trap. Maybe it's meant to be welcoming guests.
Next year's spells may be see on whatever page that was.
Sorry, give me a sec. I'm shuffling pages here.
Yeah, no, you're fine.
It'll be on page.
Well, can I just roll the
24?
pie?
She rolled a 24 on the spell.
A 24. Give me a second.
The DC is 10 plus the spell's level. It's a 3rd level spell.
Alright, you cast Dispel Magic, and one of the sconces disappears.
That's it?
That's all you get.
Again, I just had a weird and crazy thought. Apparently, this Lich King is not evil. Doesn't actually do what we know liches to normally do. What? This is supposed to be a welcoming banquet as opposed to a trap.
I snarl
wanna
under
find
my
out?
breath and just keep going.
I
Alrighty
want
then.
to pop open one of the bottles.
So are you going to walk up to the table?
I'm going to walk up to the table.
Before he
Right.
does that, can I do detect magic?
Well,
It's kind of
just,
pointless
you
now.
know, for you guys' advice, we know it's all magic because her Dispel Magic worked on one.
Right. So as he approaches the table, he and by the way, Awen, go ahead and roll for your detect magic. As Anthony approaches the table, all the sconces in the table sort of shift about 2 feet deeper into the forest.
Aha!
Did that just
I
move?
rolled a
All right.
7.
I punched the table in half.
As you approach the table to punch it, the table moves a little bit further into the forest.
Ferran,
Okay.
Ferran grabs.
I walk away.
And your fist sort of like hits the ground and miss it. It's fine. And Aowen's detect magic detects that the table is basically pure magic.
Aha.
All right, so
Well,
that
I
kills
walk
that.
away and I go ahead and follow my teammate in her direction.
Hey, Muggsy, you want to do the honors?
Quit
Why
wasting
the
the
fuck do we have
alcohol.
to? Let's just keep walking.
Yeah, leave it where it is.
Yeah,
Yeah, I agree.
Just leave it the hell alone.
I'm staying on my horse and keep
motherfucking
riding
fist
forward.
got all discombobulated and shit.
Akla just kind of shrugs and says, "Hey, it worked last time."
Quit wasting the precious funds.
Shit, just throw a damn rock at it again. No. My ass is like, I'm fucking hungry. Let me go ahead and just try to punch this motherfucking table. Magic table, bitch.
All right,
So-
have we even caught up to Melwood? Like, he was way ahead of us.
Nope.
Anthony is about 7 feet deep into the forest, and he's sort of approaching back. But you've noticed that you almost couldn't see him with him 7 feet deep into the forest, and he barely could see you guys as he
And I can see in the dark.
comes back.
Yeah,
Yeah, I can see in the dark too, so that's fucked up.
Right.
It's an unnatural darkness, and obviously now we've proven that table is a trap. So
Fuck that table.
that actually,
Fuck that
I
table.
don't think.
Fuck the
trap-
magical couch. Magical bench.
What
The
about,
chitin.
what about the big
It's
comfy
mama.
chair? What about the big comfy chair? Can we at least show some love for the big comfy chair?
You know what? The coffee chair can kiss my ass too. That's some bullshit. How the fuck you gonna fuck with food like that? You know what? This goes against everything in my judgment. What the fuck was I thinking? You know what? Let's just get to the damn kingdom.
All right, so you guys
Shit.
continue down the forest, and up ahead you can sort of see. You can see the in the forest off on the left. You can sort of see. It looks like the trees are sort of breaking up a little bit, but the path ahead still looks pretty dark.
Huh, so that proves that this darkness is unnatural, which we already knew. I still haven't got on my horse. I'm still walking beside it, hand on sword, very much keeping an eye out on the surroundings. Nothing will get past me again.
I'm not too far from Farron. I'm still on my horse. I have my hand on my morning star. I have a +4 in investigate. Is there anything I can look at to see if there's something we're missing?
So the path
Melwood.
looks pretty well worn, and as you look down the path, it still looks very dark. You can't see much more than 50 feet in front of you, down the path, and off to the right you see basically nothing, just trees and darkness, and off to the left through the trees you can see sort of, it almost looks like sunlight. It looks like the trees are starting to break up a little distance ahead, though on the path it doesn't quite look that way.
Is it the time of day that we should see sunlight?
Yeah,
Okay.
above the path you can see through the canopy just sort of, and it looks like it's around noonish.
Okay, just making sure.
No wonder the table
All right.
is working. It's lunchtime.
Does anybody got any real damn food? Because the brother been starving for a long time. Help your favorite monk out.
I grabbed some salted pork out of my rations and I tossed it to him.
Thank you.
So Overlord, what am I seeing?
What is your perception?
Millwoods? Ooh,
Yes.
really damn good since he's so far ahead of him too.
He's not.
Yeah, I'm a +3 on perception.
So the path looks like it just continues down through this dark forest, but like them, off to the left, it sort of looks like the trees are breaking up, like the forest sort of ends.
Like the
And,
destination's up ahead. So I'm gonna kind of gallop on into whatever the destination is.
Are you galloping into the forest or further down the path?
Further down the path.
All right, so
I'm already way out ahead of them. I'm gonna just get there sooner.
you continue further on down the path, and it's just continuously dark and dark and dark, and you can't quite see anything further ahead of you, but still off to the left, the trees sort of look like they're breaking up, and you can almost see the outside of the forest on the left.
Look to the left.
So, really quick, you're saying that the perception for everybody, or just for Melwood, is that the forest is open to the left?
Yes, that's what it seems to be.
That wasn't a yes or no question.
Sorry, for us all, or just for him?
For everybody.
Okay.
Okay.
Does anyone have an active perception of over 18?
Oh, I could roll
Well,
a to find out.
I have a
No.
I have a 9.
I'm rolling right now.
9 if I can roll.
Does
Yeah.
19
Yeah,
count?
no, if Xavier has a +9, then yes, he has I think a 19 passive.
I got an
Right,
11.
So yeah, he does see this.
So Xavier, he's sort of, as he stares at what looks like the breaking up of the trees past off to the left, all he sees that it just looks like light. It doesn't really look like there's anything past those trees except for light.
Okay, so this is an internal conversation, but I need to know the answer to this. Is this something that the rest of the group can see? Is this something that looks like I need to be headed that way instead of on the trail, since my perception's so high?
Not necessarily. Everybody else, it sort of looks like it's
Because I'm not telling the group yet. I'm going to flip a coin on whether or not I tell the group. We need to go that way.
So, to everybody else, it looks like the trees are just sort of thinning out and more light is coming through. But to you, it looks more like the light is emanating from the ground.
Gotcha.
And-
Hang on.
Anvil, while he does that coin flip, what did you want the passive perception to be above?
18.
18.
Oh, never mind.
So my choice is to let the group know, if that seems to be the way to go, that we should be going that way.
To him, because to everybody else, it looks like it's the end of the forest.
Uh-huh.
To you, it looks more like the ground itself is glowing. Like the light is coming from the ground, not necessarily from above.
All right, I'm going to rear up, and I'm going to, whistle and get everybody's attention that I'm getting ready to change the route here.
All right,
and
so
follow this path.
Melwood, you hear a whistle coming from behind you.
Rain up. I see anybody behind me?
You can just faintly see the dim glow of Io's light, the flame in Io's hand.
Well,
That's about it.
I'll write back to them then, and then I'm going to pull up and say, so, did you have a grand victory over that fort table?
We fucked that table up. We got to follow this.
The heroes of picnic table. I'm going to remember that.
Great.
Ferran just kind of sheepishly looks at his feet.
That's the name of our group, the Table Killers.
There it is.
Can we just get out of these woods, please?
Tabletop. There we go.
I'm thinking we need to follow this path. If I'm the only one that can see it, I guess I'm going to lead.
You know,
all right.
My father once told me.
Muggsy's actually gonna take a look for this path.
All right, so go ahead and roll your perception for that one.
18.
Oh, perfect. So, as Muggsy looks out, he sees that through the sort of oppressive darkness of the trees off to the left, he can see this strange glowing area that at first it appeared to him to be like the trees were thinning out and it was the sunlight shining through, but as he looks closer he sees that it's actually the ground itself that is glowing.
Alright, I rolled a 23 on perception once he said there was a path there that the rest of us couldn't see.
Yes, as you look out, you notice that the ground where the ground is glowing, it sort of looks like almost a game trail area that sort of leads to the glowing area, and the ground itself is just emanating this warm, almost sunshine-like light.
I'm going to cast Detect Good or Evil.
So you cast Detect Good or Evil, and you feel nothing but malevolence coming from everywhere around you. Like the forest itself is evil.
Okay, hang on. I got to flip a coin. Heads, we go.
Let's see. I want to investigate.
I'm rolling out.
You're rolling out? Are you heading down the path, or are you heading towards the glowing area?
I'm going towards the glowing area. I flipped a coin.
Muggsy sticks with them.
Akla got a 19 on an insight check. What warm and fuzzy feelings does he get about this action?
So Akla just feels a perpetual foreboding. He's got that weird feeling in the pit of his stomach, that just sort of, man, everything just feels wrong about this.
You know, my father told me when I was younger, the worst thing in the world you could do when you're about to die is walk into the light. I don't think this is a good idea.
So,
Guys,
I
don't like this.
Everything else we've seen so far has been a trap. This is probably not the greatest idea. I mean, everything has been so black on the sides that leaving the path is probably bad.
Fuck. All right, I got to flip the coin again. Hang on. Jesus Christ. All right, I guess I'm listening to you.
I was about to investigate.
So
Something
as you're
tells me
all
that's not a good idea.
as you're all staring at the glowing light in the distance, you hear this strange music start to come from down the path.
Like the way the direction we were heading.
Yes, down from the walked path.
I officially trust nothing at this point.
Roll to investigate the music.
And so you investigate the music, and it seems to be coming from from straight down the pathway. It doesn't seem too eerie. In fact, the sound of it seems to make you relax and feel more at ease. And as you stare down the path, you see a strange figure, sort of like a strange figure sitting cross-legged, floating in the air. And he sort of floats towards you, and it's an older man, sort of skinny, and with a long white beard and a shaved head. As he goes closer, he just opens his eyes and, "Ha! I see you outwitted the picnic tables, but I would like to warn against following any of the glowing grass. It has a weird trip."
Are you the Lich?
No, I am not the Lich. Why? You think I'm starting to look a little bony? No, I'm getting pretty old, but I've never been called a skeleton before.
So wait a minute, are you a bard?
Akla just kind of leans toward Muggsy and says, "Smooth."
Do I look smooth to you?
Are you a bard?
Oh, I am definitely not a bard. Bards are far too frivolous with their time, and they oftentimes are too involved in everybody else's business. No, I'm a hermit. I've traveled this forest for a long time, trying to explore its secrets, and so far all I can find is that the entire forest wants to lure travelers into the depths. And I've only ever found one way out of the forest, and it is this path.
So it's stay on.
I'm gonna ask the hermit if he knows if this path leads directly to the Lich King.
Oh yes, if you follow this path further to the west, you will arrive at the Litch King's fortress. And I use that word very liberally. It's really just sort of a ruin. When you arrive there, say hello to him for me. I haven't heard from him in quite some time. I'm actually starting to grow worried about him.
Awen looks over to Xavier and asks him if he can cast good or evil on the hermit to see if there's any bad intent.
I sure can.
Please and thank you.
Yep, I cast.
It's just like a natural innate ability. 'Cause it seems like you're burning up a lot of spell slots on that.
That's my third one. I can't use it again for another hour.
Oh, so are you casting it?
Yes.
Okay, so you cast Detect Good or Evil, and you feel that this is probably the most good creature you've ever encountered in your life. Like, it is the purest of pure.
All of a sudden he whips
Oh,
out
then
his
I
Morningstar.
definitely want to show him my gloves and show him, look, if you look at them like right now, they're black. But if I turn them, they turn green. I call it bleen. It's a color I invented. It's pretty cool, right?
He sort of takes a close look at your glove and he goes, "Ah, beetle paint."
I just look at him and smirk.
I'm gonna.
What are you gonna do?
Say
I'm
again,
riding
Xavier.
past him. I'm gonna ignore that comment. I'm riding past him. I'm ignoring that comment.
All right, so you're saying to get to the Lich's palace, just continue
Akla
on
is
the road
rapping
as
his ass
going.
off.
Correct.
So
That would be sad.
I asked if he would like to join us since we're headed to the Lich King. If he's so worried about him, would he like to come along?
unfortunately, I have many things to attend to at the moment. I fear for other travelers in the forest. However, if I find time later on, I may come to investigate the Litch Kings Labyrinth soon as well. Maybe I shall see you there. And he sort of drifts off past you guys. And as he goes by, you realize that he is literally levitating, and the music is coming from nowhere.
Beans, the musical fruit.
Don't freak out. But I think that guy's the Avatar.
I'm going to go with Jesus, bald white Jesus, but we'll go with that.
And as as he sort of disappears into the distance, you hear him say, "Good luck. Stay to the path."
Oh shit.
Follow the yellow brick road. Follow the yellow brick road.
Aqua just kind of looks at everybody else and goes, "So, am I tripping, or did that just really happen?"
Ferran climbs on his horse.
I'm pretty sure it happened, bro.
Looks at Melwood and says, "Shall we?"
It happened. I ain't happy about it though.
Looks at Melwood and says,
Why
"Shall we?"
that?
And starts heading up the path.
Eowyn follows down the path as well.
Yeah, we're heading down the path.
Is everybody on their horses?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So you all
just
continue down the
look
path.
benevolent trickster god.
So you all continue down the path, and as you go, the forest seems to get darker and darker and darker, and as you continue on, you get to the point where you really can't see anything past the first set of trees along the side of the pathway, and the air itself starts to feel oppressive. You all start to sweat. You all start to sweat, and as you're walking, you sort of see in the distance that the pathway seems to get more defined. It's slowly transitioning from like a dirt path to like cobblestones, and then from cobblestones to bricks.
Akala's just quietly chanting to himself, "Stay on the path, stay on the path, stay on the path."
Just to make sure real quickly, you said that any light-based magic to try to make the field easier to see is being nullified?
That's correct.
Okay, just want to make sure.
Very much on the alert, but powering forward.
You continue on down the path, and it stays oppressively dark for a good hour and a half, until all of a sudden you all take like one step, and all of a sudden the forest is lush and green, and you can see in front of your faces. You can see everything, and you hear the birds chirping in the distance, and you hear bugs sort of chittering, and you can hear squirrels rustling around in the tree branches.
And beetles.
And beetles. And you hear beetles. And you look back, and you just see this wall of black with a thin path leading through it. And you look in front of you, and you see a lush green forest. And the path continues on with, it's at this point a brick pathway, and you can see often just in the distance you see a couple broken columns and a set of stairs that sort of lead down into the ground.
I'm thinking this is where the horse riding ends.
You would be correct.
So we get off, tether our horses. If anybody's hungry, I suggest we eat before we traverse this, but I believe we're here.
Nice.
So as you approach the broken columns, you notice that there's several like broken walls and the scattered pieces here and there of. You can still sort of see what used to be a stone floor, but the grass has sort of overgrown it, and there's a small creek running right past them, with crystal clear water and lots of lush grass for the horses to chomp on.
On the columns,
the staircases.
On the columns and all, are there any iconographies like giving indication of royalty or bannerhood or even religious sect, like anything like that? Runic?
Not necessarily. The pillars were very clearly, obviously, once very elaborate, lots of scroll work and chiseled details. There was like animals and there's a couple stags and some squirrels, and they're very clearly have been transported from somewhere else, because around you there's nothing but forest and deep, rich dirt, but these columns are clearly hewn from granite, nice and with a black and red sort of tinge color to it, and like a warm brown almost. And
but nothing that would
all
signify
of the walls
what
seem
this,
to be made from sort of the same marble, and everything around you, it looks like it was at once a very vibrant and lush palace.
but nothing that indicates
Does
who
anybody
the Lich
have a
King was before death.
Nothing to really specify what it was, except for the fact that there is still the staircase leading down it sort of leads into this area of sort of a almost obsidian. The tunnel that leads down is like a weird black glass, and the stairs are hewn out of this black glass, and it sort of leads down into darkness. And there's a little sign next to the stairs that says, "The Litch King's Fortress."
I see they spared no expense on this.
It is convenient that he labels this.
It certainly makes things a lot easier to go through.
Most
Those
layers
are
are
nice,
not
man.
labeled that nicely.
You know
I have
what?
an Arcana of +9. Is there anything that we should be seeing?
Not necessarily. It looks like
Okay.
a nice lush area. You do notice that there does seem to be an abnormally large number of piles of bones for most ruins. There's some bones off behind one of the pillars that is sort of laying there, and it looks like it had armor on, but it's just sort of like laying in a heap on the ground. And there's one off in the off a little bit further past the ruins next to the creek. There's another pile of bones just sort of sitting there. But aside from that, nothing really seems out of the ordinary.
Note to self, those are probably his
He did-
followers. We probably don't want to disturb them.
He did say that this guy was a Lich King, right?
Yeah.
I distinctly remember that.
And he likes eggs.
And
I'm moving slowly to the back of the column.
Does anybody have like detect traps or something like that? Because I'm not convinced that if we get too close, these things aren't going to rise up and start attacking.
You know, it
Hey,
would almost
Muggsy,
help
poke
if
it
we
with a
had
stick.
a rogue, yeah. It would help if we had a rogue. Oh, wait.
hey, Anvil,
Yeah.
what time of day is it right now?
It's early afternoon.
Okay.
Muggsy picks up a large stick and pokes the skeletons.
Didn't I say leave
So-
them alone?
As he pokes the skeletons, it's sort of like sort of falls up. The pile sort of falls apart and opens up some, and nothing really happens.
Well,
I step up there towards Muggsy and I pull out my the Art of Warhammer. And I'm like, hey man, you know how I showed you the cape? Check this out. The Warhammer.
all right.
It's black this way.
You
it's
should
green
show
that
me
way.
how well it works by smashing some skeletons.
And then I smash a pile of fucking skeletons.
That's much cooler.
Go ahead and roll damage. You know what? Never mind. It doesn't matter. So you swing the hammer, and you hit the skull, and the helm just sort of crumples in, and the skull just crumbles into dust as you do so. Like it's like it was barely being held together to begin with.
Hi, Mr.
Lean looks
Unnaturally...
much better when you're using it.
Hi, Mr.
That's what.
Hi, Mr. Unusually good Mr. Litch King. We just wanted to buy a sword from you. I'm really sorry my friends decided to poke and prod your followers that I know you can resurrect a life at any point. Really, you could kill them, but can I take the sword and go? Please.
So, you seem to just be talking to the abyss.
I'm laughing hysterically because I thought it was funny.
Ferran just starts, pulls out a torch and a flint and kindle.
All right, let's go.
Lights the torch and starts heading down in.
I'll be tying up my horses and pulling the genie out and telling him, keep an eye on the horses. Make sure nothing hurts them.
Now, I have Find Steed as a spell. Do I need to tie up my my horse, or can I just get him anytime I want him?
Say that again, you cut out for a second.
I have Find Steed as a spell. Do I need to tie up my horse, or can I just get him anytime I want him by using that spell?
I think you can get him anytime you need him by using that spell.
Okay. Right.
But keep in mind that then you have to use a spell for that.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, no, it's for the effect. Yeah, I'm cool.
All right. Yeah.
Muggsy's just bad with horses.
How dark is this place that we're starting to walk towards?
So you're walking down. You approach the stairwell, and you notice that the stairwell itself sort of has like a dim glow. You look down the tunnel, and it's dark, but not real dark. The glass seems to reflect every little bit of light, sort of lights up itself.
And
okay, so then I use dark vision then, so I can see 60 feet ahead of myself.
I'm using dark vision too, if it works.
Yeah.
I'm glad I wasted a torch.
You see at the bottom of the stairs that the path sort of continues off ahead in front of the stairs.
I'm gonna keep going.
Roger that.
I follow them in, but I have a torch because I don't have dark vision.
I follow Farron.
Akla is also following.
So I still have my fire from earlier, so 10-foot range for good light, and then dim light an additional 10 feet.
All right. So
it's a cantrip, so it lasts 10 minutes on its own, but I can cast it at will. So every time it goes out, I just cast it again.
So Akla's hanging close to Mainland.
Oh, great. So, we can see fine with everybody else's light.
Yeah.
Oh, and the lighted stairs.
Right. So you all get to the bottom of the stairs, and you're in a tunnel that's sort of the floor itself seems to be made of the same sort of obsidian glassiness, but the walls seem to be more porous, almost like a volcanic. They almost look like volcanic tunnels. And
lava rock.
every good 10, 15 feet, there are sconces on the walls.
Are there torches in the sconces?
Are the sconces lit?
Yes, the sconces are all lit.
Oh, I put my torch away.
Yeah, same here.
Alright, I'm gonna let my fire go out then.
I have a question. The obsidian-like glass that we've been walking on, is it good quality?
It's pretty solid.
Am I able to take some of it?
I mean, if you have anything that can break obsidian.
Okay, never mind.
Again, hi, Mr. Unusually Good Lich King. Don't mind my friends who are pilfering your home.
As you look at the floor, you
I
realize
like how
it has sort of like a
Ferran
ripple.
traded in the old idiots for bigger, better idiots.
The floor has sort
No
of like a ripple to
pilfering
it.
has been done as of yet.
Do I
So
hear a pig?
The floor has a ripple effect to it. It almost looks like it was it flowed into place and sort of dried there. And ahead of you, you see 3 pathways. You see a pathway to the left, a pathway in the center, and a pathway to the right.
Well, I'll be pulling out a notepad and start trying to draw out this.
We're inside a volcano right now.
Yeah, but it's also known as the Lich's Labyrinth.
But it's a volcano.
I can still draw the paths to get back and out.
That is true. And
I pull a piece of chalk out of my pocket.
somebody want to wake up the monk?
Which way are we going, guys?
Curious,
What is that background
curious to
noise?
find where this is going.
No, that's Anthony.
Yeah, does somebody want to wake up the monk?
The monk is here.
Are you okay, Anthony?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Joe's off on us.
It's been a rough couple days.
I'm casting obsidian.
The narcoleptic monk.
It's been a long journey.
It
Really
is.
fucking days.
Well, I once heard an adventurer say that great adventurers go left, so I'm voting left. What do you guys think?
Left.
All right.
Passive investigation show either path is more used.
They all look pretty well walked. Or they all look, the same amount of worn. It's that smooth glass, almost polished. It almost looks like someone has come through and polished the floors.
With a +9 in perception, there's no difference between the three of them.
Hey, Anvil.
Not particularly. They all look about the same.
No.
Okay.
Akla got a nat 20 on an insight check, so total of 22. Does any path feel particularly lucky?
They all feel pretty uneasy.
I got a 19 on a nature check. Do any of these feel like they are more likely to end in bad natural things happening?
That's not really how a nature check works.
All right.
Honestly,
Can I tell if there is, say, active volcano down any of these paths as opposed to dead and labyrinthy volcano?
That would fall under a nature check.
It does not. I got that's what she's meant.
Okay, I'm flipping the coin.
I just need to know if there's fire burning and death down one hole versus another.
Wait a minute, you're flipping a coin. There's 3 tunnels. You got a 3-sided coin?
Yep. Nope. The first one that gets heads, that's the one I'm going down. All right. Tunnel number 1. Not that one. Tunnel number 2. Not that one. Looks like we're going down tunnel number 3. Or I am.
I don't know.
Did
if
you
really
start
left
at the
to
left
right
or
or
start
right
at the
to
right?
I started at the right and went left.
Okay, so 2 people have now voted for the left tunnel.
What tunnel it is?
I guess we're going
I'm not
left.
sure how comfortable I am leaving our decision of tunnel up to chance, but sure, I guess we'll go left.
Well, I mean, if
You
you
got
have
a better way to make a decision?
Yeah, if you
At this
have another
point?
suggestion, I'm down to hear it. Otherwise, one's as good as another at this point.
Anvil,
This would be the tunnel to the far left that I'm
Let's
heading
go
down.
left.
I follow along with the Paladin.
All right. So you're going left?
Yeah, I'll bring up the rear with Akla.
I make a small chalk X right in the entrance on the mouth opening of the tunnel that we go down.
I have chalk too. I'm drawing a line.
All right. So
It's
go down
coming
the
up in
left
the
side.
rear. Coming up in the rear, Anvil. I erased their chalk lines. Continue.
Best be joking.
Continue mapping.
Akla just looks at Melwood like, what the fuck, dude?
I map it. I said, look, we've got to teach them a lesson. This, no one can erase. Those, they can.
I'm not even checking perception. I'm going with that.
All right. So you can go off to the left. The tunnel you see in front of you, it's a longish tunnel, and As you're walking down it, you hear sort of a. It almost sounds like stomping feet ahead of you.
Like multiple feet, or somebody sitting there stomping their foot?
Like it sounds like someone's sort of approaching.
Lots of someones or just one?
Just one. Very heavy footsteps.
Very heavy footsteps.
Everybody imagine you're in the military. I put my fist up, everybody to stop. I'm listening to the sound.
So, you're all listening to this stomping sound, and as someone want to wake up the monk.
Anthony.
I'm still here.
Okay.
We know.
Still snoring.
So as you hear the stomping sound, you look and you see coming down the tunnel a large minotaur, axe in hand, and he's got this sort of crazy look in his eye, foam coming out of his mouth, and he's stomping towards you very quickly. Everybody roll initiative.
Morningstar.
Oh, initiative.
Morningstar and Art of War.
Is that what I think it is?
If it is, don't ruin it for everybody else. 13.
18.
18.
16.
19 for Akla.
Do I add my initiative bonus to that?
Yes.
21.
Yes.
All right, give me a second. Hang on.
19 for Iolanth as well.
Oh, add on +1 for initiative. I got 16.
This is where he's got to start.
Anthony, what is your dex?
Dexterity?
Yeah.
My dexterity is... Oh.
It's underneath
12.
All right. So somehow Muggsy is faster than the monk, but so I think it's Muggsy has 16A, you have 16B.
An armed bear commented on our sleeping monk mad cow disease. Shit.
Our sleeping monk is rising.
All right, so going off of the dexterity for Akla and Iolanth, Akla is 19A, and Iolanth would be 19B, unless somebody else got a 19.
Nope, next I think is Balewood with an 18.
Alright.
Guess I'm pulling up the rear
So-
of the 13.
Everybody give me your numbers one more time.
21 for Awen.
Alright. Akla.
19.
Xavier.
18.
Anthony.
16.
Ferran.
13.
Bugsy.
16.
Io.
19 as well.
Melwood.
18.
And I got everybody, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
Well,
Yep.
I got great news for you guys. The monster rolled the 10.
Yay!
All right.
We get to beat it up before it gets a chance.
So we all get to light him up first, is what you're saying.
So it's a Final Fantasy style brawl. Got it.
All right.
Beef, it's what's for dinner.
Ah, sweet. I got a great recipe for it. I got some lemongrass.
I don't know if we can trust you in front of an oven.
Don't worry. I make things look sexy either way.
In his dreams.
Alright. So, Awen's up first.
Can I try to persuade the Minotaur to let us go through because we're just here to talk to the Lynch King?
Technically, you can take whatever action you want on your turn.
Yeah.
So, do you want me to roll a d20?
It doesn't particularly matter. So you try to talk to the Minotaur, and he just sort of snorts his nostrils and shakes his head real hard, and growls and screams and keeps charging towards you guys.
Did that count as an action?
That's
or was
unfortunate.
That was that a free movement?
Alright, that means...
Anvil.
What?
Did that count as an action, or was that a free movement?
Yeah, that has to be an
Yeah,
action.
we're gonna call that an action.
Okay.
He tried,
Well, I figure I could speak the same language as him, so I thought I had a chance.
Right. He tried to persuade. Unfortunately, the Minotaur is crazy. He's crazed.
Or as an armed bear said, suffering from mad cow disease.
Yeah, pretty much.
Alright, so who's next then?
All right.
Akla.
I'll use
All right.
Fury of Blow.
Give me a second here for Akla's turn.
Decisions.
I'm gonna go with a magic missile.
Yeah, because what could go
Alright.
wrong? Yeah, I heard the oh no.
Give me 1 second to pull that up for damage.
Did you roll?
There's no attack roll for magic missile; they automatically hit.
Yep.
Yeah, I said it. I was getting ready to say it, and then I realized, oh, it's magic missile. That's the only spell I do know.
Come on, guys, get this exciting. This is a battle.
Come on, phone, move faster. Load faster.
That's what you get for using a phone.
I need to print out my fucking spells. That's what I need to do.
I draw out the Morning Star and the Art of Warhammer.
Yeah, I've got my swords drawn too. Frostbrand and my short sword.
Fucking lovely. I just need the frickin' die.
What's the spell?
Magic missile.
3d4
It's D4.
D8.
3d4 plus 3 is
D4s.
what Arm Bear just said.
Yeah, so each start deals 1d4 plus 1. So in your case, 3d4 plus 3.
Okay. 1d4 plus 1 force damage. Okay.
Times 3.
So, 1d4. 4 plus 1 times 3?
How many darts did you shoot? At what level was the magic missile?
I'm casting it as a 4th level spell.
So I would imagine it's 4d4 plus 4.
3. So 3d4 plus... No, it's one per additional
Oh, okay.
above yours. So it would be 3. So
All right,
3d4
3 total.
plus the...
Yeah, 3 total.
6, 7, plus 4, 11. So 11 damage total.
You got the spell off. You start with 3d4, and then you added 3 more, so you have 6d4 plus 6.
64?
Yep, with the bonus. Yep. 6,
Oh, okay.
6 total.
So roll 3 more times. Add 3 more plus.
1 plus 6 plus 3. So 9 So 20. The first one was 11.
There you go.
So,
So
you're
20
getting
damage and additional effects. That's a... Ooh, we're going to get a fun one. So I just rolled a 95 on
Oh,
the
shit.
random roll.
Second hill and
Bam, bam, bam.
second hill, and
The
I'm standing
higher
right next to the bastard.
The higher ones are usually positive results. So we'll see.
He made just double the spell effect.
Take it to the ear, to the mouth, to the neck.
And then I can add my level to it. So let's subtract 8 because 95 is going to be my spell effect is normal. For the next minute, your one action spells only require a bonus action to cast. Or I can also do 8. You cast True Polymorph on yourself and turn into a creature of your choosing. The spell automatically acts as concentrated. You keep this form until someone dispels its magic. You gain the form's stats and abilities. Or
Oh my god.
There's like 4 ors with this one.
Uh-huh.
spell effect goes off as normal. Your spell's duration will be maximum. Does not require concentration. So, Magic Missile is not a duration spell. So, as cool as the True Polymorph one would fucking be, I'm going to go with the spell effect is normal. Next minute, my one action spells only require a bonus action to cast.
Shape of a bucket of water.
Wonder Twin Towers.
I'm pretty sure this cavern's a little small for me to be polymorphing into a fucking dragon, so...
Probably wouldn't be a good idea. Next.
That would be Io.
Alright, Io is casting Fairy Fire. Let me pull up her sheet of what it does.
It illuminates the target. Does no damage.
Well, yes, but it gives us an effect.
Yeah, it's going to give
object in a-
advantage on
each
attack
object in a
rolls.
20-foot cube within range is outlined in blue, green, or violet light. Your choice. Any creature in the area with the spell is cast is also outlined in light. If it fails a dexterity saving throw, for the duration, objects and affected creatures shed dim light in 10-foot radius. Any attack roll against an affected creature or object has advantage if the attacker can see it, and the affected creature or object can't benefit from being invisible.
All right. So now it's got pretty little dancing flames all over it. Next.
I was one of the 18s. It was either Melwood or Xavier.
It's blue flame, by the way, just for effect.
Oh.
Xavier steps forward with his Morning Star and the Art of Warhammer. He cast Searing Smite on the Warhammer. The Warhammer does a total of 26 damage, and the fucking other one, what is it? Hang on, does 22 damage. Sorry, the Morning Star does 22, so a total of 48.
Damn, he did that quick. He had time.
Yeah, I already had a pre-road. I just forgot the name of the Morning Star. Yeah, 48 damage with the magic of the Searing Smite.
Okay, who's next?
Millwood is going to hold his initiative for now and go when he feels it's correct.
By the way, the creature has to do a saving roll versus his con, or take 3d6 damage every turn until he saves against it.
Aha,
So he's on fire.
Anvil?
I think Anvil's rolling.
Ha! Ha! I'm muted. Ha!
Yep, knew that was coming.
What was the saving throw?
Constitution.
You have to save versus your con, or it's 3d6 damage every turn until you save.
What is that? What do I have to get?
Save versus your con, your constitution.
Yeah, but what was...
What's your creature's
It doesn't matter.
constitution?
It's 18 plus 3 was what I
Yeah.
rolled. It's a con the Constitution
okay.
modifiers +3,
So-
and I've rolled an 18. So
All right, so you're not on fire, but he still took 49 damage.
right.
All right, and Melwood held.
So at this point, the Minotaur is sort of staggering back, and he looks even madder than before.
Who's next?
Oh, cool. We pissed it off.
All right, I think that's me now.
Is that the Muggsy?
Yeah.
Yep. Come on, bud.
All right. So I run up and punch it in the fucking kneecap. Since I have advantage, I'm gonna sneak attack because things that big don't look down enough.
Blow out his fucking knee. Yeah.
And fuck, I just crit. So,
Crit 20'd?
yeah, nat 20. All right, that was 4 4s. So, that's 19 damage for the first hit. Second hit,
The rest of it doesn't matter. The first hit, its knees just sort of like inverts, and it falls forward square on its axe and chops its own head off.
Jeez.
I didn't get to fucking
Cool.
hit it.
Ow.
While everybody's congratulating themselves, I want its hooves, its canines, and its horns.
Did we just win?
Save me a London broil.
How
I like
large
the
is that
Kansas City
axe?
Fairly large, not super large. Hang on.
Big enough to cut off a centaur's head. I'm taking off its hooves,
Okay,
its canines, and its head.
Can I get the axe into my
Thank
bag
you,
of
that.
infinite holding?
I will look up the stats for it when I get down.
Okay,
back
that's what I
downstairs.
do.
I had to go upstairs to use the porcelain throne for a second.
More information. Than we
That's fine. That's more information than we needed.
I'll take a Kansas City strip and a porterhouse.
Millwood's going to take his ice.
Is that going to be a new T-shirt using the porcelain throne?
So in my infinite bag of holding, I have its hooves, its canines, and its horns.
And while they're divvying up loot, guys, I will go ahead and say it now. Thank you very much for joining us. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did in any capacity, hit that thumbs up, like, share, comment,
Wait,
subscribe.
Before you do that, I have one question for everyone. Did anyone search his pockets?
You guys are doing
I'll
that.
search the pocket.
We can leave that for the
Yeah,
next
I'm
episode.
gonna search his pockets as well as recite a prayer of my people over the dead.
We are
So,
doing another
We
episode
got to
here on
run that
Twitch, right?
shit.
We're doing.
Initiative roll.
Are we doing another episode on Twitch?
Yes. I just wanted to get this specific Minotaur over with before we end the episode.
All right.
As long as I get its hooves, its canines, and its horns, I don't care about the rest of it.
Well,
So,
anyway, good kill, guys.
The only thing that seems to be in his pockets is some tattered clothes and a boot that looks eerily similar to the boot that you found in the forest.
Oh shit, he done killed the villager.
And,
Found a boot first.
and on that note,
Motherfucker.
On that note, guys.
and on that note,
guys, here on Twitch.tv, make sure you stick around. We're going to be giving you another episode. For those listening on YouTube or on Anchor, guys, thanks for hanging out with us. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did in any capacity, hit that thumbs up button, like, share, comment, subscribe.
You done killed my hobby.
Check out all the other great Let's Plays and tabletop content of Sounds Dicey Gaming. And, of course, our sister channel, Realm of the Mist Entertainment, for all our podcasting needs. And if you prefer your podcast in audio-only format, make sure you check out Realm of the Mist Entertainment on Anchor.fm, Apple iTunes, Spotify, Pandora, or wherever quality podcasts can be heard. Guys, we will catch you on the next Chronicles of the Lost Realm. Damn it, Anthony. Twitch, stick around. We're back for the third.
Wake.